Hey, was that a cool piece or what? Wasn't that awesome? So that's a piece from the British composer, and we have been having such a great time with that one. That is one of our pieces we're going to be taking to competition, so that one's going to stay with us for about the next 5 weeks. Towards the end of April, when we go and compete at Snake River High School, we're actually one of the few ensembles that bring middle schoolers to a high school competition, and we're super excited because we love for our middle school students to get to show off how talented and how great 7th and 8th graders can sound. For those of you who had 6th grade students up here just a little bit ago, if you're in 7th grade, can you stand up so we can see how many 7th graders are playing this much more difficult music now? Let's give all these guys a big hand clap. So while you were listening to that song, if you get a chance, I would encourage you to check it out some more. It's got a great recording on YouTube. It's 3 different tango dances. So they're all tangos, but it's 3 different dances. As you heard, hopefully you heard there's 3 different movements going on. And hopefully you were able to imagine two dancers curvaceously making their way across the dances in that one. So we're excited to take that one to competition. Before we move on to our next piece, what you'll see, this is our lyrical piece. We're also going to be taking the next song to our competition. This is a German piece called Armorland. It is a region in Germany, is what the composer says in his notes, that is famous for rivers, greenery, and also for windmills. Really famous for the stone kind of built windmills with the big old school windmills are going around on the top. So one thing we'd like to show you this evening is you see your program. Students are now registering for band next year. And we just want to encourage your students to continue in band no matter what all the activities they do. We have lots of students who participate in multiple activities in here. And so what I'd like to do right now is, if you are a band student and you participated in a fall sport, could you stand up? Some of them are standing in the back because they actually did, but they are percussion standing. Percussion, raise your hand if you participated in a fall sport. And sit down. If you participated in a winter sport, stand up. You'll notice some of them are the same ones over and over. And sit down. If you're participating in a spring sport, stand up. We got lots of track kids. Lots of club kids who do springs. That. Nice job. Sit down. If you participate in drama, speech, debate, FFA, 4-H, or any other type of club, student body council at the middle school or at the high school, stand up if you participated in something else. Let's give them a hand clap. That's great. And then of course we have some students who band is their thing, and then going home is their thing too. And so we really love having them here, band. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our lyrical piece that we're going to be taking to competition in about 5 weeks called Armorland. I hope that you feel just as moved as the musicians do as we play this. A couple really big goosebump moments. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for coming out this evening to the Spirit of the Falls Band Spring Break Concert 2022. On behalf of all our administrators, school boards, faculty, staff, myself, thank you so much for coming out and supporting music education in our school district, especially in the month of March, which happens to be National Music in our Schools Month. We have a very special treat for you that we've been waiting for the end. Those of you who are symphony lovers and you get a chance to go to the orchestra, we are playing one of the mainstays of all orchestra pieces. This is a piece called Pictures at an Exhibition by the composer Modest Mussorgsky. This was written in the late 1800s. The composer based this upon pictures that he had seen. So this has 3 movements. There's a lot more movements than that, but we're going to be playing 3 of them for you today. The first one is iconically used in a lot of video games and commercials. This is called the Promenade. This is the stately gentleman with a hand behind his back, broadly walking through a beautiful art gallery. If you can imagine these beautiful marble floors, an art gallery at the turn of the last century. So we're talking late 1800s, early 1900s. And then in folklore, in Eastern Europe, in Eurasia, they have what's called the Baba Yaga. It's kind of hard to explain. It's essentially kind of like a boogeyman, but it's a witch whose house is built upon chicken legs. But the chicken legs can move, so they're quite large legs. So you'll know when we get there because it starts getting very intense and very, very fast. It'll sound more like a Halloween song. And then at the end this evening, we're playing one of the most famous movements of all Western music literature, and this is called the Great Gate of Kiev. And let me give you a little background on this. So Modest saw a picture at the time in Kiev, in Ukraine. They were going to be building this beautiful grand gate to celebrate that part of the world, to celebrate Ukraine. In Kiev, well, he thought the picture was so beautiful, he was moved that he wrote this big, beautiful John Williams Star Wars sounding sound for it, this huge sound for it. Quite coincidentally, though, after he wrote the music for it, the plans for the picture got scrapped, and they never built the gate of Kiev there. So this is the last thing that we have to remind ourselves of that. As many of you know, geopolitically, and with war happening in the Ukraine right now, and with the Russian army surrounding Kiev, we're really excited to kind of give this as our part halfway across the world. Just a little tribute to stand in unity with democracy and with them, and we're really going to try to bring it as big as we can. So if you have sensitive ears, when we get to the end, you might want to cover it up because these kids are going to bring the house down. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you one more time for coming out this evening. We're ready to melt your face. Thank you so much. That's a polite way of saying we're going to play really good for you. Thank you. Parents, we did this for the 6th graders a little while ago, but if you are a parent of our 7th or 12th grader and you would like to stand up real quick and take a picture, I'll get out of the way. They're going to act like they're playing